Well, bringing up an awkward situation in private is tricky enough. What happens if you need to set a complete stranger straight in public?
The challenge is to make your point without appearing rude, right? Well, here's some advice. Is modern manners expert Anna McPherson. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning, guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And Mick is on the line from Victoria. Now, Mick, explain to us what happened to you.
Last year, I lost the calf off from my right leg due to unforeseen circumstances. And when I was released from hospital, I had extreme difficulty in walking. It was very painful, but I'm a public transport user. Now, every time I got on a tram or a train or a bus, and there were schoolboys on, schoolboys always gave me a seat. Every time. Even if I was only travelling one stop and I'd tell the lad, look, matey, I'm getting off in one stop anyway, he'd say, doesn't matter, sit down, please, sir. Every time the schoolboy gave me a seat. If I did it and the tram was occupied by schoolgirls, and unfortunately where I live there's two girls' schools, a schoolgirl never once gave me a seat. Not once. They even took the priority seats on the tram or the bus, but refused to shift from them.
Okay,
they let me stand the whole time.
What should
Never
Mick
a
have...
schoolboy, and I'm not talking private schools here, I'm talking high schools.
All right, let's get to work. And Anna, what do you think?
Look, Mick, that's a shocker. And research has shown that it's normally women who actually give up their seat on public transport. So if you find that is the case, I would really recommend that you ask someone flat out to give up your seat. The idea is sometimes people can be in their own world, and we try to always look to the best case scenario that people are lost and not thinking about that. But don't be shy to say to a young lady who should definitely give up her seat to you, would you mind terribly giving up my seat? I won't be able to stand for this journey. And make her feel bad, and if you need to, ring the school. Ring the school, because any able-bodied person should always give up their seat for a elderly, disabled or pregnant person. So speak up, Mick, and don't be afraid to let them know that they've done the wrong thing.
You'd think that would be obvious, wouldn't you? To pretty much everyone. Naomi from Victoria has also emailed us. She's going to a friend's 30th birthday. Now, on the invitation, we've all seen this. It says on the invitation, no presents, please. Now, I went to a function recently that said that. Everyone turned up with presents. Yes. She still wants to give a friend a gift, but doesn't want to embarrass other guests. What's the deal?
All right, the rule of thumb, if the host says no presents or bring a plate or whatever the case is, you don't bring a present. But unfortunately, people bring a present or they bring a plate or they bring something. So the ideal scenario is that if you really want to give a gift, and it's lovely if you do, give it to the host privately so that it doesn't make the other guests feel uncomfortable. And if you've got it in your bag and everyone else pulls out a present, then you have a present as well. But the rule of thumb is if they say no presents and you really want to give one, do it privately.
OK. Next, we have an email from young Max in Victoria. Max is just a young lad, but wants to know what he should do if an adult lights up a cigarette nearby and the smoke bothers him. Anna, what should he do?
Unfortunately, Max, because we live in a world where we are allowed to smoke in a public place, you actually can't legally say anything to the smoker because we can't discriminate against them. What you can do is let them know that it's bothering you, and you're within your rights to say that. And they may say, well, that's too bad, young man, and you can try moving. But we've got to remember that it's just as much their right to smoke as it is your right to have clean air. So there's no grounds for kicking up a big stink, so to speak.
My kids cough really loudly.
Yes, I would suggest that.
Yeah, and because sometimes people just don't realise, particularly in an outdoor cafe or something, that there's kids sitting behind them.
Yes.
And when people realise that, that can change their minds too.
A strategic cough?
A strategic cough.
I recommend a strategic cough.
Yeah. Thank you
and
so
all my
much.
asthma. I'm on my asthma.
All right, Anna, thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Nice to see you.
Well, any parent of a teenage girl knows they can be difficult, but have you ever thought it could be their self-esteem, not their hormones, that is to blame? Well, shortly we'll take a look at a new program that's giving young women the confidence they need.
But first, here's Glenn with some tips for staying in touch.